Bow, 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 bow. Oh, what it is, what it ain't, don't it stank? It's your boy, EJ Sparks from the Dragon Geeks channel, back on my BS. Y'all know how I do. So today, it is not Dragon Stars versus SH Figuarts. Today we're just doing a direct comparison to the brand new SH Figuarts Tien Shinhan versus the original release of Tien Shinhan. Now, I feel like I'm like the last person to get these new figures. I swear. It's crazy. Like, I see everybody else's review go up like 3-4 months ago, and I'm like, I pre-ordered the day they went on pre-order. Why am I the last one to get it? Ugh. Anyway, we're going to look at his little man's Chiaotzu as well. That's what everybody's excited about. So y'all know how we do. We're going to take a look at articulation, paint and details, scale them with other figures, and we're doing direct comparisons to the two. Because the big question that everyone's wondering, if I have the original release of the Tien Shinhan, do I need to get the new one? Well, we're going to dive right into this video and answer that question for you. Seatbelts on, y'all. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, so we're going to take a look at the Tien Shinhan here first, and then we'll check out Chiaotzu a little bit later. Now, we're not going to dive too much into articulation and stuff because the first figure has been out for about 3 years now, so we don't have to touch upon that too much, but there are a few things I want to talk about, so let's start with our paint and detail. So I think we're going to go direct comparison, so we're not going to do one at a time like we usually do. So first things first, let's take a look at their head sculpts and their detail, okay? So, first thing you'll notice about the new one right here, his head is a lot more round. Like, he has a big-ass head. It is rounder. And this one, the original one, is more of like a oval shape, I guess you could say. So, this one's more round, and this one's like more long. Now, both of those are correct, okay? So this one is more of the Dragon Ball slash Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Saga arc Tien, where the animation was still like coming along, and this is directly from the Android and Cell Saga. So both of those are accurate, depending on which one you prefer, okay? So we take a look at the eye here. I hope it can focus on both. So we take a look at the third eye. Both the eyes look good. This one is a lot longer and like it looks a little bit deeper, and opposed to this one, which naturally this one's head is bigger, so they have more room to work with, you know. So, but overall, I think both of the eyes look good. Eyebrows look good. Now the eyes. Here's another thing, guys. So, just like we were talking about the old animation style, this one is a lot more fitting for the Saiyan Saga and for Dragon Ball, and this one is more fitting for the Android and Cell Saga. So that it's honestly personal preference for the most part, but what I will say, I do like this frowny face a lot better than this one. This one's lips are kind of small. It's a different sort of shading color, but I do prefer this one's like the look on his face. However, I think I prefer the smaller head. I'm not even gonna lie to you. When we take a look at the body, so the original release is a little bit darker. He's a little bit like he's got like more of a tan going on. My lighting's not the best, so I'm hoping you guys could see it here. So this one has a little bit more of a darker tone in his arms and in his chest. Oh no, I just dropped him. That's terrible. Alright, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, he has a little bit more of a darker tone than the newer one right here, which I don't mind much either. We take a look at the scar, the detail on the scar. Both of them look just fine. They look almost exactly identical. They probably are. They just made this one's color a little bit different from the newer one. But yeah, for the most part, everything else is the same. I will say that the newer release, he's more wide, and maybe it's just because we got the sleeve like around like the half shirt going on. Maybe that's why, but he does seem a little bit thicker than the original release right here. So that could just be me tripping. Jeez, words. But we also take a look at the belt. The newer one, the belt is a lot thicker and has a darker shade of red going on, and this one is thinner and it's not so dark. And also we look at the pants. So the shading in this figure is great, whether it's the new one or the original. Like, you look at the shading in the pants, this one definitely has a lot more shading. Like, you check this out, and like the knees and the pants, like it's like super duper dark shading, and then you got the darkness and the shading right here all throughout the pants, and you know, the half shirt's got a lot of shade. The wrinkles look real good. So even though it is shaded more, this one's shading is not bad either. They just went a little bit lighter on the shading right here all throughout the pants and everything. This one is pretty dark itself though. So yeah, I mean, for just like paint and detail and stuff, they both look good. Like, honestly, the original release Tien is one of the best SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z figures they have ever made. So they both look good. I mean, really, you just have to base it off of if you want the half sleeve as well as the facial preference, okay? But let's go ahead and talk about articulation a little bit, because for the most part, it is about the same, but there are some things that the original does do better than the new one. So I have the original right here, and of course, we have, like, I'm not going to pay attention much to the neck and stuff, because what I want to talk about is the body. So we have this ab crunch. His ab crunch is very good. Like, he leans down that much, leans back, not a whole lot, but a decent amount. Bicep swivel, of course. It's almost a double jointed elbow. It's like a single joint, but it moves like a double joint, so it's not bad. Wrists and everything move just fine. The belt is articulated. We got this movement right here in the torso. It's like 2 different points of articulation. Right here in the torso, then right there at the waist. But when we take a look at the newer one, so it has all of that stuff, right? But it's super stiff, okay? So, this one right here, like, I can't really move it as easy as I do with the original. And especially on this arm, it's like really, really stiff to get that bicep swivel working in there. Double jointed elbows are pretty snug, and just like the mobility of the arm, it just doesn't move like super easily. And it's not that the original one is loose. Like, I don't want you to think that. It's not loose at all, but it does just move a lot easier, and I actually would prefer it that way, where it's not loose but it moves easier. And with this sleeve right here, like, he does still have the butterfly joints just like the original, but they're kind of a pain. Like, especially the sleeve, as cool as it looks, it's, oh, I know y'all heard that, kind of a pain just to move his arm forward, you know. Moving that forward is forward and backwards, we just got that noise in there. Like, it sounds like it needs some dang WD-40. It's not fun. Versus this one right here, you can move it however you want without it being loose. So that part is unfortunate. We still got the movement here in the torso, and it's like his ab crunch is worse than the original, unfortunately. Let's take a look at the legs real quick. So on the original, oh, this guy just keeps trying to take a nosedive. So on the original right here, you know, front kicks go up super high. Like, look at that. Super high, no problem. Side kicks, not so much because of that body that it's on. But the front kicks are amazing on both sides. Double jointed knees, both of them work out very nicely. And of course, we got the ankle rocker and the double joint on the toe. Now for this one right here, for the newer one, it doesn't kick up as high like it does, but you kind of got to force it. And I get afraid with stuff like that because you don't want to be too rough and break your figure or anything. Like, I guess the left has a lot better mobility than the right side does, but this right one is just like really stiff. Still can't really go up for the side kick. Double jointed knees, like they still work just like the original, but they are a lot more snug, a lot more stiff. And hey guys, who knows? It could just be my figure. I always try to like put that out there. Like, it could just be my figure. I'm not saying that every one of them is like that, but this is how mine came, okay? So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories real quick. I love both of these figures. Just when it comes to articulation, I like the original better. I feel like he moves a lot better, but when it comes to paint and detail, I do kind of prefer the newer one. So we're kind of at a tide for things right now. So let's jump right into the accessories. Alright, looking at the other head swaps, they're right beside each other. We're going side by side here. The original release is on the left, new release is on the right, okay? So what I will say here, this one is personal preference. I didn't really like the other heads on the original release, and here's why. So like, we have this evil like smirking face that looks like it would be like Tien from Dragon Ball, but this one is clearly Saiyan Saga Tien, so I didn't really like this smirking face here. This face right here with the gritted teeth, it looks like he's shook, you know, he's scared, he's surprised, whatever. And I'm like, I don't think I want to pose him with this scared face like that. And this was the only other face I actually did like right here. It's like the yelling Ki Blast face, or more fitting, I like to say it's the Tri-Beam or the Solar Flare face. And then as for the newer release, same thing, we got this yelling face right here. We got both the yelling faces right next to each other. Look at that. They look incredible. You could just tell how much the newer one has like upgraded and improved. Like, He looks so good. Like, all the lines around the eyes, the detail of the mouth, everything looks fantastic. Then we have this face right here. It's like the gritted teeth face, and it looks less of a cocky smile and more of like, you know, he's ready to fight, or he is worried, but not a scared worried, you know? So I like this face. And then this is a new face sculpt we got right here. This one's a surprise face right here, and I really like that one right there, because especially with all the crazy shit going on in the Android saga, this one makes a lot of sense, okay? So, I'm really digging, like, all the faces here. Like, I love that we have 3 different faces and a total of 4 to choose from, so that's awesome. As for the hands, they are all exactly the same. They both come with the tri-beam hands right here, the Ki Blast or gripping hands, we have the Ki Blast or the Solar Flare hands. Then we got this, like the pointing, not really the pointing finger, but he did this when he was fighting the Cybermen in the Saiyan saga. So all the hands look exactly the same. And we're going to go ahead and jump into talking about Chiaotzu. Let's go. Alright guys, checking out the Chiaotzu accessories. This one's an obvious no-brainer, which one is better. But here's the original right here. And here's the new one. The original, everybody hated, like, he literally doesn't move. Like, his head moves, and that's about it. And he specifically, this Chiaotzu was specifically for one part in the anime when he jumped on Nappa's back. What you can tell is because he's got that smile and he's got that tear in his eye. So, yeah, it's kind of awful. Honestly, I was just grateful that I had a little Chiaotzu with him, like, even though he didn't move. But, hey, you know, figure collectors, like, we're like, hey, we need that articulated Chiaotzu, bruh. So we finally got him right here, and he looks fantastic, okay? So, for one, he looks a lot less pudgy than this one. Like, just look at the faces. Like, this one looks so much more pudgy than this one does. But the detail looks great. Like, he's a very, very simple design, but it looks really cool. Like, we got this nice little rotation going on the neck right here. His arms aren't that articulated. He's got a very tiny single-jointed elbow right here. So his arms move up a little bit. But we still got a little swivel right here, like a little peg for the wrist to move. I'm really impressed with the legs because these are very tiny, but we got this movement going right in here. We got front kicks that go up this high, and we got that knee that bends, you know, this much. Like, it looks really good for what it is, guys. It really does. And sorry, side kicks about that much, nothing too crazy. And yes, we got that little ankle rocker going on there. So it's not like it's a whole lot, but this is literally all we need for Chiaotzu, you know? Like, you want to be able to pose him and, like, stand him with your figures. Where the hell are you going to pose this guy? Like, I honestly ended up putting him in the box, and I hate putting figures away in the box, but I'm like, I really can't pose this guy to where he's going to look good on my stand if he's just, like, sitting there like that. It just doesn't work out, you know? And as for the accessories for the newer Chiaotzu, like, we have these 2 other hands that he comes with. Oh, my camera's not focusing. Sorry about that, guys. It's a little blurry. We got the open hands and the pointing finger hands. You can switch those out at any point. So, when it comes to accessories, like, just because of the Chiaotzu figure with the new one, obviously the new one gets the W on that. Like, that's a absolute no-brainer. But we're going to go ahead and scale Tien with some other figures, and we're getting ready to jump into our final verdict, guys. Here we go. Alright guys, before we jump into some direct comparisons to other figures, I was swapping out the heads and I noticed something really cool. I don't know how I missed this detail. On the newer Tien, so you know I was talking about, like, this worried / scared nervous face? Look right above his eyebrow there. He's got the little sweat drop. So my boy is nervous. He's sweating bullets out here, you heard me? This is dope. So, like, dude, just so dope. They literally went all out when it comes to this Tien. I love it so much. So let's take a look at Tien besides some of his friends. Let's go ahead and get this guy standing straight up. And he's literally like the same height as the original, so it should be fine, but I just want to scale this new one with some of the other figures. So we got Saiyan Raised on Earth Goku here, which I think that's about accurate. They're about the same size. Yep, looks good. Let's move them out the way here. We got Tien and Yamcha right here. This is Saiyan Saga Yamcha, which that one pretty accurate as well. We got Piccolo right here. Going next to him. They never scale Piccolo, right? Piccolo should be like a giant above everybody. So, I mean, he is taller, so I guess that is good. He should just be even more taller. And last but not least, we got Android 17, because who could forget when he choked out Tien. Holy crap, the androids are so small. They are not this small. They really aren't. But the android figures are just so tiny. But anyway, for the most part, he scales well with everybody else. So now, guys, we're going to go ahead and jump into a final conclusion for you. Alright, guys, so time to jump into the final verdict. Which Tien Shinhan is better? And if you already have the original, should you buy the new one? So there's definitely pros and cons to both of these guys, okay? So obviously, I really like how this version looks. I love the half shirt, the half sleeve. It looks really, really cool, okay? And as a matter of fact, Demoniacal Fit actually came out with a Tien and Yamcha kit a few years back that have just the sleeve piece that you could put on this one. So if you already have that, then that's pretty cool. So, I mean, you don't really need the new one if that's the case. However, the new one, the joints are just really stiff, and I don't really care for them much, like when it comes to the articulation. But the faces look amazing. They look incredible. The original one, the articulation is spot on. It is on point, but the faces are not as good as the original. And of course, we have Chiaotzu. Like, Chiaotzu kind of loses value after the Saiyan saga. He's still around, but he doesn't really do much in the Android saga and the Buu saga, or even in Dragon Ball Super. So if you are content with just having this Chiaotzu right here versus having an articulated one, then it's fine. You can stick with the original. Otherwise, like, if you want one that you could do some cool poses on your shelf like this one's doing right now, then I would definitely say rock with the new one. The original came out in January of 2018, and the new one just came out a few months ago. Not this year, sorry, in 2021. I forgot what year we were in. So when it comes to pricing, the original one, it's running anywhere from like $75 to $100. That's what I'm seeing that one being sold for. The newer one I'm seeing being charged for like $90 to like $130. So it's not like a huge difference depending on where you get it from. You can find them at fairly close to the same price, okay? So the newer one's just about $10, $15 more expensive. So I don't know, it's really hard to say, but I think mainly because of the Chiaotzu accessory and how much better the faces look, I'm gonna give this battle to the newer one. The new Tien Shinhan actually does win, but that does not mean the original is bad, okay? If you have the original right here, you don't necessarily need to go out of your way to buy this one, okay? It's all for personal preference if you want better looking faces, if you want the half sleeve, and you want an articulated Chiaotzu. Personally, if it was up to me, I would have wanted them to release the Tien outfit from the Tournament of Power in Dragon Ball Super, or the Tien outfit from the Buu saga, you know? So, you guys tell me, what is your favorite Tien Shinhan outfit that he wore throughout the Dragon Ball series? Comment that below if you want, okay? Alright. But anyways, guys, as usual, it is totally up to you. You can get both, you can just stick with one, or you can get neither, whatever you want to do. But I'm still a small, growing channel, and I appreciate you guys for kicking it with me every time you tune in. Please like, share, and subscribe to the page, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Bye.